Hello.
Excellent. Hello, everyone. Well, welcome to our information session that we are so privileged to have with Dr. Joe Ahrens. And tonight we're going to be discussing both 24/7 and Emulin so that you can understand and appreciate the difference. And then we're going to have a great question and answer session. So if you want to start typing any questions you have in the chat, you're welcome to do that right at the start. We'll try and get to everyone. But remember, we're trying to keep this Zoom to 30 minutes. So we might go a little bit over, but we'll try and respect your time that way. So thank you so much. It's exciting to have Dr. Ahrens with us. As you know, we just recently launched the 24/7 carb burner in Las Vegas with Dr. Ahrens, who has joined our team at Valentis. And he's excited to be here. He is a very well-known research scientist. He's been nominated twice for a Nobel Prize. He's worked all over the world in different capacities with nutrition and with agriculture. And he brings a long list of experience with regard to nutrition for us. So this is really important, and I know that you appreciate that as well. So I would like to invite Dr. Ahrens to take the call, and I'm going to ask him just to explain a little bit about the difference about 24/7 and the Emulin, and then we will start with all of your questions. Thank you so much. Dr. Ahrens.
Well, I'm really glad to be on this call. You might be able to see behind me, I am out near beautiful Disney World. This is actually the town of Celebration. And I'm really glad to be able to be here. And we were just between some airplane flights, and so was able to do this. I'd like to start by talking in just a little bit about Emulin. Emulin can be considered like a vitamin. It is essential for everybody's health. It helps to manage carbohydrates, sugars in your body, and it also manages inflammation. That's its two main jobs. It will manage inflammation, it will manage sugars. And we started on this around 2002 when I was Director of Research for the Florida Department of Citrus. I formed this company along with my partner in order to figure out what it was in some fruits and vegetables that did manage sugars, and we've discovered it after 10 short years. And now we've made it available to the public. I will repeat, Emulin is like a vitamin. It is a vitamin. It manages sugars in your body, and it manages inflammation. Without Emulin, everyone has chronic inflammation and is sick, whether you know it or not. Even if you feel you're healthy, you're not healthy. You're more sluggish than you should be. Your bones don't heal as quick as they could. You've got another 1 or 2 more colds than you should have. You've got a little bit more aches and pains than you should have. Emulin puts your body back to where it needs to be. It restores it. It resets it. It's essential for everyone, from womb to tomb. Okay, everybody got that part? Raise their hand. Okay, Emulin is like a vitamin. It is essential for carbohydrate metabolism, and it is essential for control and regulation of inflammation. This is why most of you have arthritis and have these issues, because you don't have any Emulin. Emulin treats no diseases. It does not treat arthritis. It does not treat diabetes. It does not treat obesity. It fixes your body and puts your immune system where it should be all along, and your body treats itself. And this is why people report that I've been on Emulin and I'm now getting up out of my wheelchair, or my bone has healed in 3 weeks instead of 3 months, or my psoriasis went away. It's because that it puts your immune system back in shape, and it's your immune system that did it. So everybody needs it. Athletes need it. There's plenty of athletes, professional athletes on this, people with arthritis, couch potatoes, young and old. What is 24/7? How does it compare to Emulin? Well, 24/7 comes out of that type of technology. I mean, we understand these types of things in your diet. They're called bioflavonoids. We know how to put them together to optimize results that we want. That we know what's good for you. Trust me. That's what the doctor said. So, looking at our basic science, like with Emulin, we said, now how can we develop a formula that helps people lose weight? Well, 24/7 is not a modified Emulin, but it is based on the science behind Emulin. Let me see if I could just say, let us say that ice cream is the basic technology, and the different flavors are the application. So the basic technology would be ice cream, but you have all types of different flavors for different reasons. You know, you want to have peppermint sometimes, or banana, or vanilla, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. By the way, I'm just a plain vanilla guy, if you want to know, and I really don't eat very many sweet things, but it's vanilla for me. So Emulin is the basic technology, but there we can take some of that underlying technology, the bioflavonoids, and put them together to have different effects. And we have been asked by Valentis to make a weight loss formula, a carb blocker. We took our basic understanding of bioflavonoids. This is what they're called in nature, these molecules, natural compounds, bioflavonoids, and we assembled them in this formula that we knew would cause weight loss in particular. Emulin Emulin will cause some weight loss, but it's not optimized for weight loss. And Emulin will control inflammation. 24/7 has a lot of weight loss, and it'll control a little inflammation. But Emulin is the basic discovery. 24/7 is just an application of some of that technology. Okay, now raise your hand if you understood that yet. Maybe you didn't yet. I'll go over it one more time. Emulin is our basic technology. Everybody needs it. But you know, everybody does not need 24/7. Everybody can benefit from taking 24/7. Everybody. Doesn't matter. Give it to a dog, it'll benefit. But everybody doesn't need 24/7. It's totally different with Emulin. Everybody needs Emulin. Everybody will benefit. But 24/7, everybody will benefit. But not everybody needs 24/7. I got asked just today on a national radio show, I don't need to lose weight. What, should I take 24/7? Yes, everybody will benefit. Your skin will tighten up. You'll feel more athletic. You'll actually look better. It will tighten your skin. You'll have less cravings for some of these things. But you don't really need that. You know, you can get by with loose skin. You don't need it, but it's really beneficial. So everybody needs Emulin. It's essential to operate our immune systems properly. It's essential to operate our immune systems properly. 24/7 doesn't have much to do with an immune system. It's still some of the basic technology, but it has nothing to do with the immune system. 24/7 will help you lose weight. It'll help you be less anxious. It will help you get good sleep, which also helps you lose weight. And it will cause you to have less calories. Actually, you eat a high calorie dinner, about a third of those calories will not go into entering your body because it's a carb blocker. So it's all about losing weight. It's tightening skin, getting more rest. Emulin is necessary for your immune system. 24/7 is beneficial, but it's not necessary. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse anybody any further. I'm really glad to take questions.
That's great, Dr. Joe. No, that was very clear. So let's get on with the questions so that we can, get all of them answered if we can this evening. So the first one is, hello, Dr. Joe. I use more than a 2-cap dose of Emulin C. When are we going to be able to order more than one bottle? I'm running out.
Well, I wish you could order all you wanted tomorrow. Valentis is trying to regulate the amount that's available because they don't want it to run out immediately. We made several thousand bottles of it initially, and when Valentis and ATM started to cooperate, we gave them all of our, every bit of our Emulin, the C and the M, and they actually, we shipped it up to them in the warehouses. And so they are the ones that are marketing it, and I have no direct control over it. So Dave Jordan, let out the floodgates and let that Emulin out there. Also, we are making new M and C actually as we speak, because it is being done in Southern California. It's your time. And we're making M. The first shipment that comes out in a couple of weeks, I guess, is going to be M, and then we keep making it. We're making C, but there's still some M and C in the warehouses right now. And Valentis is trying to make sure everybody gets what they need rather than just a few thousand people getting several bottles. They're trying to spread it out. I mean, this is really very new that Valentis and ATM joined together. It must just now have been 2 months maximum.
Excellent. Well, you can see there's a lot of excitement. Most of the questions tonight reflect the panic over not having enough Emulin. So bear with us, Dr. Ahrens. We'll try not to ask it too many times, but we want to make it clear that there's a lot of support for you in this. So from Cindy, is it best to do the Emulin C for a bit before 24/7, or is it, or can we use both effectively?
Well, you could use both effectively, but I would suggest.
Oh, somehow we need to unmute you.
Okay, got it. I would suggest that, you know, first of all, if you can get the Emulin, that's one thing, and clearly you have to have Emulin. I would start on Emulin and then add in the 24/7. Emulin is essential. Everybody needs Emulin. You know, your body's really dying right now. You need to be on Emulin, and then I would add in the 24/7. I think also it would be a little easier on your gut than the other way around. If you have trouble with adding in these products, always take them with food. Emulin is pretty, it's not very tough on you, even on sensitive stomach. Very, very few reports of Emulin. That would, truthfully, we've had out around 20,000 users, we've had like 2-3 cases of heartburn on Emulin. But if you take them together right away, it might be a little bit more than your body can take at once, just like eating too many dill pickles or something. Why don't you start out on Emulin, and after a week or two, then start in on the 24/7.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We have a question from Christina, or a statement. Since on 24/7, she's experienced some weight gain.
Well, I really don't see physiologically, that's a big word I'm using to try to impress people. I really don't understand how you could actually gain weight, but I'm not going to say that it's impossible. Nothing is impossible. Actually, there are people that can eat some sugar, eat some bread, and their blood sugar will drop. I've seen that actually happen. It surprised me the first time I ever measured it. How is this possible? You bring someone into a laboratory, you give them 2 slices of bread, you measure their blood sugar, and it goes down over the next hour or 2. So I consulted with my colleagues and said, you know, what is going on here? And they said, you know, there are these reverse cases that ultimately things work out for these people, but some people, right after eating sugar, it doesn't go directly into their bloodstream. It goes somewhere else, and then eventually gets into their blood. And I have to acknowledge that there might be a possibility that somebody gains weight after it, but I can't understand it biologically. I'll just be very honest. And if I had you in a double-blind clinical trial, I could then understand it. But just saying, okay, I gained weight, I don't know why, I'm sorry.
Okay, I get that too.
Honesty.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So now a question. I'm hoping for some news for the caffeine-free 24/7 carb burger. When will it be available? She has some excited customers.
Yeah, it'll probably be, in honesty again, it'll probably be 6 weeks. That we still
Okay.
got 24/7 with caffeine. It's not a lot, but it's some. We still have some in the warehouse at Valentis. As soon as we get closer to the end of that, we will get the 24/7 without the caffeine. I know it's in demand, and I actually didn't understand how big that demand was. So we'll probably go to a caffeine free and eventually settle on some ratio between with or without caffeine. But we have to figure out what the demand is of what people will order. Prob, it could be 50-50. We have to guess, but I know it's needed. It'll probably be 6 weeks.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Does the Emulin help with skin firming?
Not at all compared to the 24/7. The 24/7 absolutely does, and the Emulin will help with healthy skin, but it will not firm it up. I've heard no reports of that.
No. Well, the 24/7 sure does. Believe me, I have lots of reports of that. So we're excited about that, Dr. Ahrens. So I have another question. Why does the PM make the odd person nauseated?
It makes them what?
Nauseated, nauseous.
It could be that the melatonin in there can upset your stomach. There are people that are melatonin sensitive, and it's got a very small amount in there because we know some people take melatonin by itself, so we didn't want to put a lot. But there are absolutely people that get nauseated from melatonin, just like there are people that get nauseated from caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you anything, if you're having any issue with any of our products, they are completely natural and they should have been in your diet to begin with. But if you have any problem because of the concentrations we put in here, cut back on the capsule or cut back entirely and see if it goes away. And then if it's okay, start it again slowly. Maybe for the 24/7, you just take one capsule at breakfast and then the one evening capsule at dinner. See how you do. If you're still okay, then go back up to the normal dose of one morning AM in the breakfast and one at lunch, and then the PM one at dinner, and the second one 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. Test yourself like that. But there are going to be some people that are nauseated from perhaps the melatonin. Some people are nauseated even eating bananas. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Excellent, thank you. We have a question. I have major inflammation when I consume any alcohol or simple carbs. Should I increase my dose of Emulin C from 2 capsules to 4?
If you have any issue like that, problems with inflammation, or you just broke your ankle, or you've got hay fever, double your dose of Emulin. And then after you get past that issue, try to go back onto a normal dose. You might find that after a while of a double dose of Emulin, you will be just fine with alcohol. And there is a very strong correlation between alcohol tolerance and Emulin. And even hangovers. The more Emulin you take, the less hangovers you will have. So double up a dose no matter what it is, and then you can cut back later once you feel you've gotten over your issue.
Thank you. Here's a question from Andrea. Compliance-wise, is it okay for us to say that it reduces inflammation?
Yes, inflammation is not a disease, so it's fine.
Excellent. Okay. Dr. Joe, what would you say to someone who says they are on a strict keto diet and do not do carbs or sugars? So how does this help?
Well, first of all, it's impossible not to do no carbs and no sugars. Sugars are carbs, so it's impossible to do no carbs. You would just die. But there are very low carb diets, keto diets. I'm a very strong proponent of a low carb or a keto diet. I don't think it's for everybody. Some people, it hurts their kidneys because the protein is so concentrated in the diet. Their kidneys have issue with the water balance. So I can't say this is great for everyone, but I do promote it. I like a low carb diet. And if you do have Emulin in there, it's essential, because remember, the other part is inflammation. It's necessary to regulate inflammation. It's not just to regulate carbs. Emulin happens to regulate carbohydrate metabolism, and it regulates inflammation. You need it for both of them. And there's always some carbs. You know, there's carb inside blood. So there's always a little bit of carb.
Okay. Question here is M and C the same Emulin? I'm taking C.
M and C are Emulin, but the ratios of the 3 ingredients in there are a little different. There's not that much difference. However, there's enough of a difference for people that have high blood sugar, that are concerned about high blood sugar. They should use the C.
Correct.
For control of blood sugar. For everyone else, they ought to use M for maintenance. I hope that's not too confusing. The reason is that M, you'll actually lose a little more weight with M, because it causes your fat to leak out fatty acids and sugars, and the sugars go into your bloodstream, and then your blood sugar elevates. So if you're already trying to lower your blood sugar, you don't want something that causes your blood sugar to go up, even though it's just briefly. So we split it into 2. For everybody, almost everybody, use M. That's the one I use when I get it. For people that are concerned with high blood sugar, they're pre-diabetic or they're diabetic, take the C.
Excellent. Thank you. So I'm going to address something here about the questions. A lot of these questions are repeat questions. And if you go on the 24/7 page, which is our new product, the 24/7 Carb Burner that we launched in the end of March, beginning of April, you can just use the search bar and search something and find it usually on that page. And there also are a PDF of the question and answers. So you can find those there. So please do some of your own homework and look for those questions and answers, okay? That will help a lot of people that are asking the same questions over and over. So we have a question, are both 24/7 and Emulin gluten-free?
Yes, they're both gluten-free. The capsules, I want to also say, you know, there's no wheat product at all in these products. But also people ask me, what about vegan? Yeah, the capsule itself, the gelatin, is plant gelatin. So they're totally vegan. And we actually have registration for the product for halal as well as kosher that will eventually get onto the label. So I think this meets everybody's standards. So yeah, it's gluten-free, it's vegan, halal, kosher.
Thank you. Here's a question. It is more related to an issue, but will Emulin rebuild gum tissue?
I'm laughing because I just last week had a mother tell me, she swears this, that her 5-year-old kid's cavities are disappearing. And I got to looking at it and I said, you know, it is possible. I've never done that study, but it is possible. Yes, but certainly gum tissue, it will absolutely help do that. And it will also rebuild cartilage in your joints. Remember, it's not the Emulin that is doing that. It is that your body is being put back to its healthy state, and your body is repairing those gums. And it's also remarkable, it does look like caries are shrinking. They're actually rebuilding and replacing calcium.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. I have heard that often from people that have gone to the dentist after being on Emulin for several months. They go back for their 6-month cleaning, and if they've had receding gums, the tissue is rebuilding. So I've even had that myself. So that's great. Awesome. Typically, how long would a person be on a saturated dose? I've heard from 6 to 8 capsules for a saturated dose. Is that accurate?
I think it depends on the problem you're trying to overcome. If you have severe osteoarthritis, as an example, you know, you can't expect a miracle overnight, and it might take 3 months, 4 months. If you've just pulled your muscle, a sprain or a broken bone, then we're talking about a month or something. So look at a cold. If you think a cold's coming on, double up your dose on a cold and then go for that for a week. So it depends on what's wrong with you. And some people need a high dose forever. I know some people with severely torqued backs that have to be on a high dose for a long time. So I wish they didn't have to do that. But everybody needs the two. So it's hard to say what a saturated dose is. Everybody in their diet, if they ate right now tonight dinner, should have Emulin in there. Unfortunately, you can't get it. So 2 is what replaces your normal diet. And I guess anything above that could be considered saturated. Maybe doubling it or tripling it would be saturated. So if it's something minor like a cold, just a couple of days or a week. If you have a twisted back, a sprained ankle, you should stay on it a couple of weeks. If it's a broken bone, you need to stay on it for 2 months. It depends on the actual issue. Just think about how severe is the issue with you, how long you've previously had it, then you need to think about months. If it's something quick and short, like a sprain, then you need to think in just weeks. Although, as many of you saying, some people with psoriasis have had it for years, and just after a week or 2, a treatment of saturated dose, the psoriasis appears to disappear.
Excellent. Thank you so much. A lot of these are relating to disease, and we don't discuss disease as such. So can you just relay again the information about Emulin with regard to inflammation, Dr. Ahrens? Because I think people get confused. They don't understand that it's the root cause of everything.
Most diseases are caused by inflammation that's out of control. Most diseases. 70% directly, and that's like arthritis, psoriasis, diabetes, asthma, hay fever. Those are all directly related to inflammation. Inflammation directly causes them. And then another 20% are mediated through inflammation, means they're aggravated by the inflammation. So most diseases are caused directly by inflammation or aggravated by inflammation. Thirdly, if your body is under inflammation, your body can't do anything good. If you have a little child that is constantly has inflammation, he's not going to grow tall. He or she are not going to grow up tall because their body is preoccupied with the inflammation. Their bones will not come out correct. I mean, all types of problems. They will not develop properly because their body is under inflammation. And it's just like you trying to think about something, and I'm constantly sitting there tapping you on the head. You just can't take that afterwards. Your body is just like that. It does get preoccupied, and it's taking care of inflammation. It gets worn out, and it can't do its normal things in growth and development. So Emulin is needed for your inflammatory system to operate properly. If it's not there, you're going to get some diseases from the inflammation, like psoriasis, arthritis, diabetes. In other instances, some of the diseases are just going to get worse, like some liver disease, fatty liver disease. That's not caused by inflammation, but your liver cannot handle that when it's also trying to worry about inflammation all over your body. And then also development. You're not going to do well without Emulin because your body is inflamed and it cannot develop properly. So Emulin is absolutely necessary to combat inflammation, and inflammation is the thing that causes a lot of diseases. So we put your body back where it should be with your inflammatory system under control. That's your autoimmune response. Get that back in control. Then your body heals itself. And so anybody with any disease will not only benefit from Emulin, but it's required for the body to just be normal, much less so they have that disease.
Excellent. So we've had a couple of questions about animals and Emulin, and we know that all mammals can take Emulin. Could you suggest what the dosage would be, Dr. Ahrens?
Yes, I want to also remind people that don't worry all of this stuff. We get it out of grapes. There's really no grape component inside the Emulin. We're just extracting out something called myricetin from those grapes. We're not extracting anything in there that could harm a dog. It's just like getting vitamin C out of an orange. It's not really an orange in the vitamin C, it's just a component. We have to, by law, say where we got it from. So we say grape extract, onion peel extract. We really are just getting the myricetin, and that's really what's doing the major bang here, myricetin, and that does not harm a dog. Okay, for even children or dogs and cats and parakeets or pet snake or your own pet, Jimmy the Cricket, just go about on your own weight. You know, we made that stuff for a couple of capsules for a 200-pound person, one capsule for 100 pounds. And then just start, okay, this dog is a 50-pound dog. Well, then give them a half of a capsule. How do you do that? Well, for a dog, you can just break the capsule open and sprinkle it right into their dog food, half of one. And if you happen to get the whole thing in there, it's not going to have any trouble. They're not, you cannot overdose on this. It's just eliminated through the urine or the skin. And it does remarkably good things for your skin. So try to just go by that weight. Now, if you have a small child or even a small dog, and especially for that Jimmy the Cricket guy, so take the whole capsule and put it into like a juice or something. Use a real juice, but you could put it in milk. You could put it into Jello and use it. If you don't like Jello, find any other food stuff like that. A good red grape juice as an example. And then you could dish it out that way. So say you have a child that's 25, 30 pounds, put a capsule in a cup of grape juice and have them drink half a cup a day. That's how they'd get that dose.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, we are just over the half hour, and I think we have found that we're answering a lot of the same questions. But again, Dr. Ahrens, it's just bringing clarity to everyone. Thank you so much for being available for us to help us with 24/7 and Emulin. And I know you're all very concerned about the supply. And that's all of our concern right now. So it's okay. I know that Dave Jordan is very aware that this has taken off really fast and that we need lots of Emulin for our family. And if we're on a saturated dose, we're going to have to take double or triple the amount. And we're all ready to do that. So thank you so much for bringing this to us, Dr. Ahrens.
Okay.
We'll see you.
I would like to say that people that have still questions, don't get discouraged. Send them in. We will get to them, and we'll at least put them on the FAQ. So
Yeah.
don't think that we don't pay attention. It's just physically we'd be here 3 hours, and I really do appreciate you asking the questions because I'm going to tell you straight up what's going on, and I want you to understand these amazing products. So write your questions in. We'll capture them, and we'll get the answers back to you.
Thank you so much. I just want to address one last question that seems rather urgent here, and it's about Emulin during pregnancy.
Well, I absolutely would take during pregnancy. I would even take it pre-pregnancy, because you know it really also does help the follicles, egg development. I from tomb to womb to tomb. I don't know a point of where you would never want it. I'd like to be in nursing mothers, so that it's an essential vitamin-like compound, so everyone needs it. I'd give it to a baby as soon as they could take solid food, and I do my own grandchildren, and someone who is pregnant, no problem whatsoever. This is something that's essential food. If this was the food source was how it should be, and it was like a couple 500 years ago, you'd be taking the Emulin and we wouldn't be selling it, because it would be in your natural food supply. So just think of that. This is not something artificial. It's what you should have anyhow. You just can't get it now because of processed foods and the way the foods have been bred. There's not enough in there anymore. But 500 years ago, there'd be no reason to have this product. You'd already be in your diet.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Dr. Ahrens. Have a great evening. We're thrilled that we're able to work with products of this caliber and this effective for all of humanity, and we're excited about the future. So have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.